Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Built in the Bluegrass, where we tell cool stories about cool things made in our own Kentucky backyard. Today, we are still continuing the coolest thing made in Kentucky spotlights for some of the nominees and also I guess you can call it final 16, but the first 16 of the tournament that you can go to coolestthingky.com and vote for any of these companies that we are spotlighting over the last couple of days here. Today we have a company that we're taking it back to 1898, fourth generation, family owned here in Kentucky. We have Lion Group CEO and co owner Steve Schwartz. How are you, Steve?
Great, Tom. Great to be with you today.
Thank you. I know as a CEO, you're probably really busy, and I like your background there. It uh, obviously says you guys are cool and up with the tech, just like me
Yeah,
with my background.
loving it. Yeah, great, Tom.
Well, we'll get started here. Just give us a little tidbit about Lion Group and kind of your all's mission and maybe what you all do every day.
Sure. Thanks, Tom. So, Lion Group's purpose in life is to keep first responders ready for action. And the way we do that is by providing them incredibly protective and comfortable PPE. We also do that by taking care of the PPE, and we also provide amazing technical training products to help them practice extinguishing fires. In fact, we even do that for fire extinguisher training for civilians. Some of the listeners may have used our equipment to do that.
Gotcha. I know there's a pretty extensive training program or maybe regimen that firefighters have to go through uh,
Yes.
to qualify or even get into that field or gather that job. Do you guys have a hand in some of that stuff, or maybe the equipment would?
Well, the firefighters would be using our what we call our PPE, which is specifically turnout gear, which is what we make in Kentucky. And absolutely, when they're doing that training, um, they use the turnout gear to keep themselves protected when they're exposed to heat and flame and smoke in the training environments at fire department training centers or community colleges, which is also a place where many people are trained.
Gotcha. I'm sure with all of that equipment, there's probably a lot of R&D that goes into that.
There sure is, Tom. Yes, there's quite a bit of R&D that goes into it. We're constantly searching the world for better materials, creative designs for the garments that we make, so we can consistently, continuously improve our products to make them safer and more comfortable for the wearer.
Gotcha. And refresh my memory. I may have forgotten, but what is the specific product that is or was nominated and is now to the next round of the coolest thing made in Kentucky?
Sure. So, what's been nominated is a particular model of turnout gear. Again, turnout gear is what the firefighter wears into the fire to fight the fire. It's called our V-Force product. It's made in Hazel Green, West Liberty, and Beattyville, Kentucky. We believe it's the most comfortable and protective turnout gear on the market. It's also sometimes referred to as bunker gear. And this garment, you might say, oh, it's a piece of clothing. Cool could that be? Well, this is one of the most complex types of garments that's made anywhere in the world. The coat and pant each have two components: an outer shell and a liner. And the liner has three layers of material in it. To give you a sense of what that means is the outer shell is designed for abrasion and flame protection. It's handmade, very little automation by the great folks in West Liberty. And you may be wondering how heat resistant it is. Our outer shell material we use has a heat degradation temperature of 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh man, that's nice. Yeah, that was definitely my next question. How much heat can it
The
withstand?
The liner, which protects from heat and moisture, is also handmade with our sewing operators in Beattyville, Kentucky. And it is made there with 3 layers of material, both heat blocking material as well as moisture blocking. So, and we used advanced materials like Gore-Tex to provide that kind of protection.
Gotcha. So
The
is
other
it?
really cool thing about it, if I could just say one more thing about
Yeah.
it, that's very cool is that the product is highly customized. The outer shell of the coat and pant can be produced with over 10,000 different types of pockets and other features to allow the firefighters to store equipment that they carry into the fire and around the fire ground. So, just to give you an example of what I mean by that, each of our pockets have a particular size, right? Both in the 2 dimensions and the third dimension. So height and width, but then also depth. They can be ordered with 3 different types of closures. So that's Velcro, magnetic, or snap. And they can be ordered with 3 or 4 different types of linings to the pockets to prevent the pockets from being exposed to wear and tear. So you do the math. Basically, we're building each year, millions of different combinations. We also have something that's very cool, which we call our ISO dry system. This is a system that basically manages the water that gets collected in the suit, either because of sweat from the wearer or from the outside water from the firefighting. And we basically manage the water by ensuring that the least amount of water possible is collected in the gear, because obviously water is the friend of the firefighter extinguishing the flames, but it's not the friend of the firefighter if it builds up inside the suit, because then it can turn from water to steam and burn the firefighter. So that's an exclusive system that only the V-Force and only Lion has.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were talking about pockets and then the different kind of, I guess, snapping on of
Mhm.
material or buttons, what some
Buttons,
might
yeah.
call.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
buttons.
the only thing it made me think of I golf occasionally, hence the shirt. I'm not good at it, but reminds me of the difference between a Velcro putter cover versus a magnetic putter cover.
Yeah.
That was a thought that I had. I was like, the magnetic one is so much nicer. It's just easy, comes apart the easiest, it flows the best. So,
Yes, that's another unique innovation from Lion that is on the V, can be ordered on the V Force. And the other really cool part about using a magnet, we use the magnet. One of the places we use the magnet is on the front flap. Probably, if you think about a firefighting coat you've seen in the news, there's always a big front flap to cover either a zipper or a button. Well, when we use a magnet, that flap automatically aligns perfectly, versus Velcro, you got this big flap and you're trying to kind of, Velcro it, and you end up with a little waviness, and it doesn't really close very nicely. Magnet just lines itself up perfectly. So it makes it easier and faster for the firefighter to actually get in the coat and make sure that he or she is ready for action.
for sure, that is definitely really cool. I didn't know, obviously, I didn't know any of that stuff was made here in Kentucky or sold by anybody here in Kentucky. I'm guessing this is more, you do, you know, firehouses in Kentucky and nationwide, or how far is your reach?
Good question, Tom. We are actually a global company. So our made in Kentucky products travel everywhere from every state in the United States to the countries in Latin America, to like Panama, to Chile, Ecuador, Argentina, Mexico. all the way to the Middle East in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, and other countries. So we are globally known for our product and globally known for it being made in the US and in Kentucky.
That is so cool. Literally why you guys are in the coolest thing made in Kentucky tournament.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I won't take up any more of your time here. Steve, is there any other parting words that you want to leave with the listeners for your spotlight and the coolest thing made in Kentucky tournament?
We're just super proud to be a Kentucky manufacturer. And again, a shout out to all the great folks in Hazel Green, West Liberty, and Beattyville that come to work every day and make this great product that helps the protectors, the firefighters, protect citizens around the world. It's a real honor and privilege to be CEO of a company that makes a product like this and what makes it really cool.
For sure, not only is it made here in the US, it's made right here in our Kentucky backyard, and it allows people to life-saving uh, feats throughout the entirety of the world, it sounds like.
Yep, they are heroes. They are firefighters are really heroes. So we're proud to be able to keep them safe.
That's awesome. So if somebody wants to see your product, I'm sure they don't actually want to see it because in that event it might be bad. But if somebody wants to maybe navigate to your website and see what you all are doing and keep up with you all, where would they go?
Sure. So our website is www.lionprotects.com. That's LION, like the animal. And we'd love to have visitors. So come on over to Beattyville or West Liberty or Hazel Green, and we're happy to host tours of what we do because we're really proud of what we do.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is lionprotects.com, guys. Go on over there and look at all the cool stuff that they have available. And also go to coolestthingky.com and vote for Lion Group and get them through to the I guess you can call it the Elite Eight to the next round of the tournament that is presented by Kentucky Farm Bureau and hosted by CAM, the Kentucky Association of Manufacturers. Again, this is Tom Lawson. I'm with Built on the Bluegrass. We are continuing the spotlights for these awesome and cool companies doing really awesome stuff in Kentucky. Steve, again, thank you for your time today, and I appreciate you coming on and telling us about all the life saving and cool stuff that you all make.
Thanks, Tom. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Built in the Bluegrass. We hope you're leaving this episode with a better understanding of the cool stuff made in Kentucky. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed to the show. This way you'll get notified as new episodes become available. Until next time.